Yeah, and we are live. So, in today's live stream, we are going to talk about why most businesses are really running out of the market, why most businesses fail. And two, you're going to learn that the key ways you can overturn these failures into opportunities that can get your business running every now and then so that you don't get to, you know, run out of business. And the promise is that by the end of this stream, you'll have gained enough knowledge that you could use to forecast the issues that might come in the near future if you choose to start a business and avoid them at all cost. So without not wasting much time, I want us to get straight into the gist. So one of the key reasons I see most businesses fail is they lack the focus. So there are many ways why such small businesses lack the focus. And the one I can think of right now is that, you know, when starting a business, you always have to ask yourself, why am I starting up a business? Basically, these small businesses that are failing, they lack the why. Well, you would ask me why, what's with the why? So I would personally I would look at the whys as the reasons or the key main factor that pushes someone or that pushes the business owner or starter or whoever is starting up that venture to push forward without failure, to push forward without fail. So I found that most of the failing businesses really lack the focus. They have a weak why. Yeah. And you know the saying, if you have a strong why, then no amount of failure gets to stop you. That's one. So the other reason I find that tends to make small businesses fail is that they focus on too much. Like they are spreading themselves out wide. Yeah. For instance, say there's a friend of mine. He was almost at the verge of failing in business, and this is what really happened. Yeah, but lucky enough, he was so wise and so quick to react. So what he did is that he started a venture in cosmetics. So um, he chose to spread out wide. He was doing soap, he was doing lotion, he was doing um, Vaseline, he was doing coconut oil, he was doing like all sorts of things. Yeah, and trust me, if he hadn't noticed this kind of mistake in the first place, he was heading for failure. But luckily enough, what did he do? He focused. He chose to focus on one product at a time. Yeah. So he ditched all the soaps, he ditched all the Vaselines, all the what, and he's focused on coconut oil. Why? Because it was simple. It was what was being demanded by most of the targeted audience. So the lesson you should take out of this is that if you really don't want to fail as a starter or a new small business, don't spread yourself out wide. Yeah. Get to focus, zero down on a few highly demanded products. So don't wake up one day and say, I'll start doing a service, I'll start providing a product, I'll start doing, get to zone in on one thing. Yeah. So the other thing that I find that's getting most small businesses to fail is that they're targeting the wrong audiences. Yeah. So the way this happens is that, using an example of my friend, he is in the cosmetics niche, and if, for say, he chose to target people in foods and beverages, you know what would happen. Right? So instead of marketing to the right people, these small businesses that fail always tend to market to the wrong audience. I don't know whether I'm making myself clear. So you can let me know. Let me know in the comments whether I'm making sense. But Nine out of 10 businesses that run out of business are always targeting the wrong people. They wake up one day and choose their avatar as someone who is age 60 and 50, you know? And then what happens? What happens during marketing? They do something completely different. They deviate from who their avatar was and they start marketing to people who are under, 18. It's just like you would see, I would want to use this example of, I know this must be like people who are trying to sell sexual enhancers. I'm sorry if this is not the appropriate example, but it's the best one I could come up with. Yeah. So those who are trying to sell sexual enhancers, when they market those to the wrong audience, say to the students, those people who are under 18 and all that, that's what I mean by a wrong audience. What do you think is going to happen? They're not going to find the right amount of resources to find them. Basically, they're not going to get the people to buy their products. Why? People who are under 18 probably they don't know what these sexual enhancers are, and others are really not interested. Others are limited by funds. Others are, you get the point. So the reason too as why most small businesses run out of business or fail is because of the wrong market they try to target. Yeah. And now, the other reason I can think of right now is most small businesses that are failing, indeed, are not providing value. Yeah. When you're starting up a business, the first thing people always ask, or the first thing advisors or mentors, if at all you have one, they'll first tell you to come up with a strong value proposition. Don't be so, confused with the value proposition and all that. But basically, they ask you to define what is it that you're going to provide to the market. Yeah? So, when you wake up one day, because you have a little funds or you have this hype of starting up a business, and you just start a business from nowhere without crafting your perfect value proposition, trust me, that business is not going to, last even a month. Yeah? Because why is it that those that fail to craft strong value proposition are failing? Is this value proposition is going to help you so much to craft an offer that will be appealing to those people you're trying to sell to. So with a weak and weird and boring value proposition, that means you're not going to have the true real market that you're really going to sell to. Yeah. Now, maybe the last thing I would think of would be financial indiscipline. When you're starting a business, you think everything is solved with money. For instance, when I was starting up one with my colleague, the first thing I was thinking is that in order for me to run a successful business, I have to start with a lot of things. I have to buy furniture. I have to buy chairs for clients. I have to buy books. I have to buy computers. I had to buy lots of inventory to start, and that is a pitfall that most businesses out there are, facing. Yeah? But now that I'm somewhere, 8, 10 years down the road, I've come to notice that if you want your business to last quite a while, you have to learn financial discipline. It is not that you have to spend in each and every business item or property or venture that comes your way. Sometimes you have to be, selfish with spending your money. Yeah? And the advice here would be spend only on what matters to the business. Yeah? Because if I'm to look back through my journey, I would say instead of focusing on buying a computer when I was starting, buying books, seeds and fancy fans, drinks, fridges and all that, I would just spend my money on marketing. That is very crucial. Spending my money on developing a strong value proposition, spending my money on how to sell, like recruiting good salespeople for the business, and spending my money on finding someone who would do tax returns and all that. Because when you're starting up a business, that's the first thing, whether you're working or not. But the moment you choose to start or decide on starting, hate it or like it, you're going to be taxed, and that calls for someone who is an expert in that. So those are the key ways I think one can spend money instead of just buying furniture, fridge, what and what. All those mean shit, mean nothing to you. Yeah. Now, now that you know, I think I've given you a clear stance on the things that make most small businesses fail. How would you overturn this? I've given you a few solutions. Like of recent, I've just told you about how you can limit your expenses by learning a few financial disciplines, and you have to be aware of the profit equations or the business equations. That is how to get profit, how to get daily sales. Like for you to acquire profit, you have to get the expenses minus, income, net income minus expenses to get the profits and all that. So those things have to be in handy. You have to know each and everything. Yeah. So remember, you don't have to know each and everything, but with time, as you progress within business, as you progress in business, day one, day two, month one, as you keep growing with the business, you get to learn these things and put them in practice. Because I'm a living example. I didn't know anything when I was starting, but now, 8, 10 years down the road, at least now I know about 90% of the business. Even when it comes to failing, I got to learn a few, you know. So my friend, the other way on how you could maybe overturn the issue of focus is to really sit down and ask yourself a question, a genuine question. And I think the prompt I can give you is, why did you start up a business? Was it because you wanted money? Was it because you wanted fame? Was it because you just had a lot of money and you didn't know what to do with it? Yeah. Was it because you wanted to serve some set of, individual category of people? Now, this why is going to help you a lot when it comes to crafting your value proposition so that you come up with a final offer. Yeah. So don't sleep on that. Yeah, trust me, don't sleep on that. Because the moment you get to know your why, you're going to have a stronger reason as to why you should keep on pushing into the business. Because first of all, you know who you're targeting, you know who you're selling to, you know how, like you would know a lot of things by just that one thing. Now, I don't want to take this stream so live, this is episode 2. I want you to let me know in the comments, how am I progressing? Am I really providing enough value? Because at the end of the day, I look at this as a business sort of thing. Why you might ask why I'm calling it a business? Because it involves an exchange. You exchanging your time for what I'm trying to say. So at the same time, all I'm asking, how am I progressing in episode 2 of this advice kind of challenge, 60-day challenge? Let me know in the comments. And the other request is, I know lots of business people out there, but if you're out there and you're good at business, please let me know. I want to call upon most of you, and we kind of do a kind of podcast so that we get to share lots of knowledge with other people out there. So my friend, now to just recap on the few things I said, there are really 4 reasons as to why most businesses fail in the maybe first year or sort of months. 1 is spreading themselves so wide. 2, they lack financial discipline. 3, they're targeting the wrong clients, the wrong customers and all that. And maybe 4, they're spreading themselves out wide. Mainly those. So if you can manage to overcome or avoid those four, trust me, instead of getting your business run for 10 years, it's going to run for more than 10 years. Yeah. So keep that in mind. See you in the next video, probably tomorrow. I don't know how I'll be, but yeah, I chose to take the challenge. So let me know. Is this being effective? Am I being helpful? Is the advice I'm trying to give making sense to you? Just let me know. I'll be glad to respond and learn and take change, or see you then.